Mailbag time. Let's get stuck into it. Even better, got 2 bits in one package. Let's see what we actually got. Soldering iron tip. What I thought that I needed to put inside a plastic bag, I don't know, since it's all inside a plastic tube. So it's a C210 tip. I have one of these which I damaged by accidentally banging it on something and it actually stopped working instantly. So I didn't have one anymore, so I've got another one. The previous mailbag I showed the other one which I got, which is a I tip. This is an IS. Yeah. Hopefully it works okay. Right. You have a scalpel handle, and in here I'm guessing we've got some scalpels. Yeah, let's get one of these out. I'm guessing it's nice and sharp. It's very thin. So I guess it kind of slips over, does it? Trying to do that stabbing myself, that'd be kind of inconvenient. Okay, there we go. Alright. It works. Cuts things. Yep. So I've got this because I've got one of these sort of cheap ass ones. I mean, I've got some of these, I've got some blades for it, but it's okay, but it's not great if you're trying to work on like circuit boards where you're trying to cut traces and things like that. I mean, the blade shape doesn't really do much for it, you know, it's limited. So I thought I'd get some with a curved blade, because I thought if I'm trying to work on a circuit board and cut traces or whatever, I'm actually, maybe I can rock it like that and cut through a trace, or it gives you a bit of a better action to cut through because it'd be on a curve, rather than, you know, trying to curve across the face, rather than using just a very sharp corner, of which is what the other one's doing. So I got this. You can get these different, lots of different blade types and stuff, so this is just obviously one of the types, but I got this particular pack because it comes with the case you can put it in, which means I can put both of my scalpels in there. Keeps them nice and safe, you don't stab yourself by accident. Lots of tape on this thing. Parent sample book, 0201, 1% apparently. And it's come open, of course it has. So, I think there's actually too much in this book to actually keep it, but it's all curved. This really isn't helping. I might need to look at rebuilding this book. Right, rescued, I think. Yep. These are all 0201 resistors. Now, this is a massive pack, this one. It's got all sorts of weird sizes in here. And there was a weird size I needed for doing a MacBook repair. I don't know what value that was now. 300... was it 300 something K, was it? Oh, I don't remember now. But I didn't actually have it. I managed to find a salvaged part from another machine and use that. But I realised that I didn't actually have 0201s in the correct values using this kind of massive assortment. I think it's like 400 values, or this was fairly expensive. Now I've got to try and get the thing to sit flat. And we've got the other one over here. 0402s. Big assortment. So, brilliant. I would say resistance is futile, but, you know, it's a bit county, isn't it?
Or you're irresistible.
No. Decent sized box here. Very well packaged anyway. Definitely Defpom proof packaging. I think that might be it. So, what have we got here? Well, it's a DigiKey bag, but that's not actually what it is. It's these membranes. So I've been doing a video about repairing this thing at the back of my desk. You may have seen it in the past few videos I've done. I've pointed it out a few times as well. So this is a really damaged piece of equipment. I've repaired it, but the membrane was also damaged. The actual flex was torn when I got it. Now thankfully I actually have a relationship with the manufacturer, so I can actually source brand new overlays. Now unfortunately it's not exactly the same overlay, it's a later revision of it, but it's very, very similar. Alright, so if you compare the buttons, the actual functionality, it's very similar. That one's kind of okay. Yeah. The only real difference is this marking up here. It says power here, and this one says input, which is actually fine. I've been lucky so far. I haven't had to replace any of these in equipment yet, but it's a matter of time before it's necessary. Or maybe I'm taking one apart one day and I break one and damage a flex. At least then I have a replacement to put straight on it at the time. But this one's knackered. Plug straight into there, and yeah, that's what's useful. But that sticks onto the front panel here. The panel's there. Anyway, that's that part. So I'm going to look at those spares. Yep, so that's that part of it. What else have we got in here? Battery holders, battery holders, battery holders, and battery holders. I've shown those before on other ones. I'll give you a quick look at them. There you go, these things here. So nothing too exciting about those. And what's in this one? Couple of antenna. So these screw onto these like so. This particular unit's missing an antenna, and I wanted to have a spare one anyway. When I'm working at events, it always worries me that someday someone's going to get one of these timer systems out and find the antenna's been lost. So I want to have one with me, so if that happens I can say, I've got a spare, you can buy it off me. And the last thing here are switches, little press buttons. Yes, two different versions. So we've got this style, then we've got this style. I believe this is actually the one I need for this unit here, because this is all really badly corroded, and I've kind of repaired it, but it sticks a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of working okay now, but I wasn't really happy with it. I was thinking I might replace the actual button, and the easiest way to get one exactly right is to buy one from the manufacturer. That's this one here. So yeah, that's the right one. So obviously mirror image, but that will go and replace that unit there. So if that button does continue to give me trouble, I don't trust it completely, then I can swap it out with a brand new one. And if you can guess where this came from, put it down in the comments down below. Incorrect answers only though. How wrong can you be? Trebleet. This is from somewhere. Read the comments to find out. Alright, that is surprisingly chunky. Okay, very heavy. So it's USB-C, no sorry, Thunderbolt 4 cable. Thunderbolt 4 cable. So USB 4, Thunderbolt 3 to 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter. Now I've shown some other ones before on the channel, some 2.5 gig and a 5 gig as well. Other ones I've purchased before, and they both work fine. But my goal was always to get my network up to 10 gig and to maximise throughput through to my NAS, which has got a 10 gig internet connection, which has got a 10 gig connection onto a 10 gig switch. So I can then have 10 gig between my computer and the NAS. Whether the drives can keep up with that, that's another matter, but at least it's as quick as it can possibly be. The network won't be a bottleneck. So I'm using a 5 gig right now. The 2 gig worked. I put a 5 gig on when I got that one. That's working fine. And now I've got a 10 gig. Whether I realistically get any gain from going from 5 to 10, who knows? Maybe not. I wanted to give it a try anyway. And then I'll have the 5 gig and the 2 gig as backups. So this will be my primary connection, and then those will be backups in case this ever fails. At least I can drop back to 5 or 2.5. Or maybe use those as another equipment, which may also be possible. That's that. Now it's got specs on the bottom here. Let's have a look at this. Transfer speed 900 megabytes a second. Yeah, okay, well, we'll see. Depends on the network and everything else. 6A for 10 gig, 6 for 5 gig, 5E for 2.5 gig. Well, I've got 7. I think I've got a Cat 7 cable actually going from my computer to other stuff. So yeah, I did do some upgrades. Audio negotiation, that sort of stuff. Audio basic information. So that's stuff you would expect. And a bit of marketing wink on there too, of course. But I shouldn't have a driver, I should plug it in and use it because I'm using a Mac. And things tend to be better sometimes like that. So I'm going to go in now and play with this, see if it works okay. So other videos to watch down below. Subscribe over here if you want to subscribe. There's a Patreon support link over there if you want to help support the channel, helping to buy bits and pieces for these. They're expensive. I'd like to get some capacitor versions as well, but yeah,